Welcome to another episode of CrossTalk. My name is Kevin Tocci. I will be your host for the next 30 minutes. Now, as you know, with this particular show, this is kind of my disclaimer, so much the mission statement of what this program will provide you, the viewer. We do our best to use this program to better inform the residents of the two communities that we serve, Whitman and Hanson, sometimes a larger audience, as we do share our productions with other communities around the Commonwealth of Massachusetts and beyond. But we use this to give information regarding, it could be community issues, it could be regional or local issues. We could be having an upcoming political season, as we have had guests on in the recent weeks to talk about their aspirations of running for office, whether it's here locally in the Whitman and Hanson area or somebody running for a state office. We also use it for upcoming events that might be happening in and around the two towns or the area. And it so happens that today we have our annual visit from the one and only numismatist, Mr. Richard Hand, as he is here to talk about National Coin Week, which is actually coming up on April 15th to the 21st. And what we do is we talk with Richard about the event that he hosts himself at the Brockton Public Library, located at 304 Main Street. And it's being held this year, April 21st at 1 p.m. Richard, welcome back to CrossTalk, my friend. And how are you doing?
I'm doing great, Kevin, and thank you for the pay raise. You're paying me twice as much as you did last time to be on CrossTalk. But yeah, you know, this is our 11th year bringing National Coin Week to Brockton, Massachusetts, with the American Numismatic Association since 1924 has been doing National Coin Week to promote the hobby. And you could actually make a living out of this in many aspects. We have the photographs working for auction company, cataloging, research. So there's many ways you can go into this, not only as a coin dealer, but the history alone. So we're really looking forward to keep bringing this to Brockton. Like I say, it's our 11th year doing it in Brockton. So we want as many people as we can. I'm trying to hit that 100 mark. We've gotten very close to 100 attendees, both young and old. We also do separate little events for the kids and some games for the kids, but with the adults, we're bringing in a guest speaker. And this year is Connecting Cultures from Many One. And I have a guest speaker, David Plenty. He's doing a PowerPoint on faces and bridge builders making the world a better place. I believe he's doing a lot of PowerPoints on World Bank notes that have maybe Madame Curie on it. He hasn't shared too much insight with me on what he's doing, but it should be pretty interesting. We usually have Jimmy Johnson Jr. on, but he's going to be setting up at a coin show at Marlborough coming up April 20th and 21st. I'll be at Marlborough. They're looking for donations because, as you know, we give out free gifts and raffles for people that come. Everything is free. It's just your time to come. I'm gracious that the library allows me to use the largest auditorium they have. When I started this 11 years ago, I started in the branch library over in Brockton near the high school, the West Branch, in the basement.
Oh, my.
And now I need the biggest room they have. So it's been I have a great following. I just enjoy it. It is a lot of work. You know, I am my mother's sole caretaker now, but still managing to make this happen and connect the dots. We're lucky this year we're getting partially sponsored by the Crescent Credit Union. And as we talked, we both have money there, so hopefully they'll give us extra interest since we gave them a free plug.
Yeah.
Okay.
What is it that you find so satisfying about sharing information regarding coins or currency in general?
Well, it's kind of, you always find your niche in life where you fit in. I got injured in the Marine Corps. went into Local 7 Iron Workers, and because of my injuries in the Marine Corps, I only made it 13 years and had to obviously find a hobby to keep your mind sane. Riding a motorcycle for so long, skiing is part-time, as with the motorcycle. And as a kid, I started coin collecting and picked it back up around 1998. Wanted to learn more. Found out about the American Numismatic Association and joined that. I'm a life member there. And then several years later, I wanted more. I joined 3 clubs: the Collectors Club of Boston, the Boston Numismatic Society, and the Currency Club of New England, which meets in Waltham. I'm sure if you Google those clubs, you can find out, or if you attend April 21st at the Brockton Public Library, National Coin Week at 1 o'clock, you can ask more about the clubs.
Okay. Why coins? Why didn't you delve into stamp collecting or bottle caps or other things that are collectible, that have been collectible throughout time?
Maybe because they're shiny. You know, oh, here's something shiny. That's a good question. I guess because, I was exposed to it at a younger age. Here's a few silver dollars and collecting nickels, and put that on the shelf as I went into the Marine Corps, and just kind of, when you get back and you're going through your stuff, I'm like, oh, wow. Let me look into this. Found a couple of coin shops and started just filling in the holes, as they would say in the old albums, where you fill in the holes.
Brockton Savings Bank. I remember back in the day.
Yeah. So that's what kind of draw me back to it. And in school, wasn't a big history buff in high school or junior high or even further back. But learning about the coins made me want to know more about who made them, what was going on during those years, and the different aspects on some errors from, back in 1793, 1794. You find some odd and strange things on the coins, and you can only imagine that maybe at lunchtime they had a liquid lunch and they were making errors and misspelling words, and they were stamping out the coins.
But those coins are worth a lot of money to collectors.
Yeah. Yes. And that's one thing I also focus on, which some of it is affordable, is error coins, double struck, triple struck, off-centered. I picked up a few nice coins at different coin shows. But I like U.S. I know a lot about world coins because I have the books. I've helped people figure out what they have, what they're worth. I like world banknotes. Those are still an affordable field to get into versus, as coins. The common stuff is commonly priced, but the more important key dates, semi-key dates are valuable. If anybody really serious about getting into coin collecting, I would obviously start off with the more expensive coins, because those will hold the value and go up in value. And with each series, there's only a few coins in each series that are expensive. The other ones are affordable. Myself, I started the other way. I bought the cheaper ones. And if I had only bought the more expensive ones in the beginning, I would have saved money and made money. But hindsight is 50-50, as they would say.
Well, I know you're somebody who you put a lot of thought and effort into your presentations, which makes, even though you're still looking to hit the century mark with attendance, you still have a lot of folks who attend, because I think because you put a lot of effort into your guests. And let's not forget, usually you usually try to make sure, depending on how many people show up and what you're able to gather, you actually give stuff away as part of the attendance, at least as to how much that you have. I don't know how many people you try to.
Well, I plan for 100. I haven't hit that mark yet. I've come very close.
So you have like little gift packets for
100 people.
100 people.
And then the raffle, which is bigger and better gifts, I have 100 of them made.
Wow.
And then with the kids, I send them home with a project every year to do and bring back. And if they come back with that, they get another gift.
Wow.
And then I take them. Now, when I first started this, Kevin, it was strictly children. And then I expanded to adults and children. And then I found the children kind of fading away because I was doing adult themes with the presentation. So what I've done now the last couple of years, I'm taking the kids out of the room and bringing them into a smaller room and focusing on stuff that they can kind of comprehend. It's not going, they're not being lost, and have some fun, like teaching them how to grade coins and explaining the grading process and how it adds value to the coin, on the wear and tear on the coin, and teaching them how to secure them. I tell them that you're basically like a little museum. You're like the curator or the owner of the museum, and it's your job to preserve and take care of these items. You know, you don't swim with them in the pool. You don't look at them, while you're in the shower or anything like that. And teach them about proper storage, proper handling. You know, because your fingerprints do have oils on them. If you hold the coin the wrong way, you're not going to get that fingerprint off. You know, I've actually have coins that I've gathered, and people have brand new coin and stuck their finger from 1960s, and their fingerprint is still on there.
Which is why you wear your white gloves.
White gloves, which I left at home. They're in the laundry.
Oh my goodness, Richard.
Yeah, the wife is slowly
disappoint me.
doing bad with the laundry. She's not keeping up. Yeah.
Okay.
No, Kathy, I love you.
Okay, so as I was trying to tease a little bit here that you do give stuff away, it so happens that you were kind enough to give us some photos. So if you're willing to, let's do a partial slide presentation, and we'll show some of the coins that you will be giving away at this year's event on April 21st.
Yep, Connecting Cultures.
Connecting Cultures. And so what's the first one that we're about to see?
On this image here, if people have probably realized, this was introduced, was the Sacagawea golden dollar coin. There's no gold in there. The first ones that got these were Walmart. People were running to Walmart in the year 2000 to grab these. Shoshone Indian woman who helped Lewis and Clark on the westward journey from the East Coast to the West Coast, and obviously she gave birth along the way. That's John Baptiste. So 2000 to 2008, it was called the Sacagawea dollar golden coin with a beautiful eagle flying on the reverse. What we're looking at is the obverse, or some people that flip coins, that would be the head side, but in numismatic terms, that's the obverse side. But since 2009, you no longer find a date on the obverse of the coin. It's on the edge of the coin.
Oh.
And then they also, what they've done is change the reverse of the coin annually. So this is the year 2018. Everybody will be getting two of these, one from the Philadelphia Mint and one from the Jim Thorpe. Olympian, yes, and all-star athlete. And that's his Native American name, Watahohunk, which meant clear path, bright path. So Jim Thorpe was obviously a great contribution to America and his theme. So what they've done was, I say, they changed the reverse design that recognizes the important contributions made by Indian tribes and individual Native Americans to history and development of the United States. And I say this year they're doing Jim Thorpe, great man. And I said, like, the date, which I kind of don't like the date on the edge of the coin. They did that in the early 1800s.
Do you know what the purpose was?
To make more room.
Really?
Make more room for all the designs. And they also put some of the models on the edge of the coin. And at one point they took "In God We Trust" off the obverse, but that didn't sit too well. So they put it back onto the coin. So you see this in your pocket change, the Washington quarter. And since 1932, they've been making the Washington quarter from 1932 to 64, 90% silver. Always check your dates, because it would be worth more than a quarter, be worth metal value out of this. This particular one has, you can see below "In God We Trust" has the S. That's from the San Francisco Mint. So they started actually producing these shortly after the introduction of the Beautiful quarter, strictly made for collectors. I'm sure you might find some in circulation, especially I give these away.
So it's a $quarter.
$quarter, 25-cent piece.
Okay.
And so everybody that comes to my event will be getting the S quarter, strictly made for collectors. You have to pay a premium at the mint. They'll also be getting below that would be the letter P, which would be the Philadelphia Mint, and a D for the Denver Mint.
Denver, right.
Philadelphia is made for this side of the Mississippi. Usually the Denver are made for the western side of the Mississippi, but Denver's eventually make it over here if you go to some attraction over there.
Circulate.
So they do 5 designs every year. Brian, if you would advance to the next photo. So like I say, everybody will be getting 3 of these, the P, D, and S. In this particular quarter that everybody will be getting, the $quarter, the 25-cent piece, is featured Chapel Rock and the white pine tree, which is called Pictured Rocks. And I believe I've probably seen that in movies, that scenery there. This is a national water place in Michigan.
Mm-hmm.
You can see a couple initials down there in the bottom, probably like around 4 o'clock and around 7 o'clock. Those are the people that designed these coins, that had a hand in it. And by designing the coin, they obviously get to grace the coins with their initials. But I'm sure some people have probably seen that. That's a beautiful coin. They also make them in a silver proof set, 90% silver. The ones that are in your pocket would clad where, it's copper core, and we call a sandwich coin. There's actually quite the process to make these, and everybody will be getting these.
What's your next coin?
The next coin I wanted to show, let's get up to the 2 Lincoln cents. We talked about this last year, Kevin, when you brought me on here. The Lincoln cent has been made since 1909 with the reverse on. It was the wheat ear reverse until the end of it was 1958. Then we did the Lincoln Memorial on the reverse of the coin. And 2009 was the 100th anniversary of the birth of Abraham Lincoln. In the 2009 bicentennial, they put 4 different designs on the reverse of the Lincoln cent. 2010, they changed the reverse of the coin, the tail side, to have the Union shield on it. Why this coin is special, you might want to keep an eye open for these. The letter P underneath the date, Philadelphia. One-time issue celebrating the 225th anniversary of the mint. So now if we roll to the next photo with the Lincoln cent with the 2018, you notice there's no mint mark underneath that.
Oh, yeah, it's clean. Very clean.
So when you find a coin like that without a mint mark, it's indicating Philadelphia Mint.
Really?
So because it was the mother mint, there was no need to identify it. They used mint marks to identify the mint so they would check the weight.
And this also helps, and I've learned this from watching programs and from research, is you have counterfeiters out there. You have people out there who will try to manipulate certain parts of the coin because it will increase its value.
Right. Matter of fact, I think Canada right now has experienced a little problem with their bimetal coins where they have laser etching in it. Some of the coins are actually starting to be counterfeited. If you can make it less than the face value, it's worth counterfeiting.
Sure.
But so everybody will be getting one of these 2018 Lincoln cent. I just got them last weekend. Philadelphia and Denver. So the 217 is quite the different, milestone, the 225th anniversary. Plus, everybody's getting 2 different world banknotes and a slabbed coin with my name on it, courtesy of me, and other great gifts. But I'm looking forward to another 11th year. I'm glad, I've brought my clubs involved, or not my clubs, the clubs I belong to, and getting guest speakers. It helps reduce the little bit of the load on me, but I'm hoping to see a lot of people April 21st at the Brockton Public Library, 304 Main Street. And, if you can swing by or call them up and tell me you're coming.
That
yep.
So folks can see that on the monitor.
It's good to sign up. If you can, no big deal if you can't, but I always give the gifts to the first. If I have over 100, I'm going to go by the list on who signed up first and go from there. But we're looking forward to having another great year. The library really enjoys us. We donate a lot of books. Matter of fact, it's a nice little book. I don't know if Ryan...
Right there.
Yeah, The Secret Roots of Christianity. It's amazing, back then we didn't have light pollution and the stars. So the symbolism on ancient coins relate to the stars and the history of Christianity. This book was one of our meetings that I had with, I think it was the Boston Numismatic Society. The gentleman that wrote this book came in. I'm going to be donating this to the Brockton Public Library with another book. So
we have a couple other photos. I don't know if you want to do any.
Oh yes.
While we got less than 10 minutes left here.
Every year, the U.S. Mint is allowed to do two commemorative themes, not two commemorative coins. But so we're coming on the 100th anniversary of World War I. This is coming in a silver, 90% silver coin, both uncirculated finish and the proof finish, which is special treatment to a coin to give it a mirror finish. And so you can see the barbed wire near the soldier, the rifle that he had,
Fantastic.
the different type of brain bucket he had in there to protect his brain, the steel pot as we would call it. You see the motto, Liberty in God We Trust, and the date. These are a couple of things that really identify a coin. If you were making your own round or something, these are things that you can't use on your own design because you're actually infringing on how we tell our own coin. So this is the obverse. You can see different initials there. So if Ryan can swing to the other side here. And during World War I, you've heard of the poppy,
Yep.
the red flower,
Yep.
Flanders Field, and you can see it's the $1. I believe they're also making this in a 50-cent coin. But here we got barbed wire and the poppies in the United States of America. And you can see the P over on the far right-hand side of that coin, Philadelphia. The proof, this will probably be an S on it from San Francisco. I'm not sure with a $0.50, but I just wanted to just show you this. So this is the obverse, and you see the W underneath on the right there, below that woman's hair. West Point Mint makes gold coins for us. They're the ones that are producing our gold coins. What's special about this year, they're making pink gold. It's gold, but they add copper to it to give it the pink. So some women probably know about pink gold. You can get your jewelry to look kind of pink. The more copper they add to it, the pinker the gold will look. Obviously, you can see the symbolic ribbon there, and a butterfly, and two women with the date and God We Trust. And on the reverse, Ryan, and obviously we have the butterfly, breast cancer awareness. And our mottos. This is a $5 gold coin. Obviously, they're going to sell it for more than $5 because of the weight of the gold and plus the profit because they got to make the dies and go from there. So these are just a couple of commemorative coins that they're making. They're also going to do this in the silver dollar and proof and uncirculated finish and a clad $0.50. I know for a fact it's going to be a clad. They're going to be sharing the same design on all three. So that's actually pretty nice, Actually, that's another theory. If you like insects, you could find coins from all around the world that have insects on them, snakes on them. So whatever you like, dinosaurs, trains, boats, you can go through.
These are more collectible and not necessarily currency.
You could spend them.
Really?
You could spend them for face value.
Without somebody giving you kind of a sideways
Well, they would probably,
glance?
when you pass a $2 bill, people are like, what? I'm not going to take that.
Well, I would think
if I owned a store and somebody came in with a $5 gold piece and wanted to buy, $4 worth of stuff, I'd gladly give them $1 back and keep it because I know the difference. Same thing, but
if somebody walked in with a $3 bill, you'd be like, hey, I don't recognize this.
Well, we had obsolete currency. There is a $3, a $4. Matter of fact, my advertisement note here, it probably doesn't show up too well here, but it's an $11 banknote.
Really?
Yeah, which was a real thing back in America
Right.
before we had national banks or the system that we have right now. But so with this, my advertisement, I'm giving everybody a glossy version of this in color, but it was an $11 banknote. Obviously worth a lot more as a collectible as $11, but they also were easily counterfeited back then. So, and this was a Highland Bank, and so it's amazing. I like collecting odd denominations like this. I don't own an $11 banknote, but
you have a photocopy of it.
yeah, one of my friends actually writes books. He's into obsoletes. He probably has everything from Connecticut, and I had asked him to share this image for me. I believe this came from maybe Sachs and Bowers auction house and John's helped my friend John Fieras from Connecticut. He's written books on obsolete banknotes of the New England area, and so I was allowed to use this image.
Now, I've had people ask me about the bowler. What's the
Oh, you mean, yeah, this is not a bowler. This is a top hat.
top hat?
Top
sorry.
hat, yeah. A bowler is
bowler's
more,
round.
yeah,
Round,
you know.
yeah. It's you knew what I meant though.
Yeah, and you know, it's funny because we have one other picture I wanted to show too of the group of the kids. But this top hat, well, you've probably met him. He's passed away now, but he was a World Boxing Hall of Famer, ring fourth. So you can actually see me wearing this. This was last weekend up in Manchester, New Hampshire, where I strictly teach kids at a coin show, the Manchester, New Hampshire Coin and Currency Show. I do a YN program where we teach the same thing, grading and 2x2ing coins. We play stack the cent game. But this is a majority of the kids. Some of the kids had to leave. My YNs, young Numismatist, had to leave early. You can see some of them holding up many of the gifts that they won.
So the idea behind the top hat, if we can get back to that real quick.
Well, you know, at one time I was growing a beard, doing the linking thing, and this is just my how would I say my thing. You know, this is what makes me stand out.
Because I thought I would make my thing where it wasn't fair. There was an imbalance, so I thought I would. While my brim is a little messed up, I thought I would wear myself.
Now, if you had a comfort peacock, you could put one of his feathers up there.
I probably could.
Yes,
But
that's a beautiful hat.
I thought I would pop a hat on, even though, like I said, I'll have to fix it. But I thought I wanted to even things out here. So
that looks great. That looks great. Yeah, it does even
actually, it's
out.
a compliment to you because I figure it was like a full-on numismatist hat, and I have like a junior numismatist hat here. So
there you go.
Richard, that's all the program that we have. We wish you continued success.
Thank you, Kevin.
And folks, don't forget, check out Richard's program. It is April 21st at 1 p.m. at the Brockton Public Library, 304 Main Street. Richard will have prizes. He'll have little packets up to the first 100 people who show up and attend this special event. Richard will look forward to having
bigger gifts with the
lots
raffle
bigger
ticket.
gifts and raffles and much more. Make sure you check it out. And hey, until next time, thank you for tuning in to CrossTalk. Have a great day.